Hello everyone, welcome back to a brand new episode of Finn React. Today guys, we're actually doing this because you guys have also requested to do this video, and I figured I have zero knowledge or anything about this, but we're going to talk about the history of Ultraman. Now, I did not know, fun fact, that it went back to 1966. I think there was like a one adaptation of an American, but not really talked about, and I also remembered it from Godzilla randomly. But it goes a long time back, and I would like to learn more about exactly what Ultraman really is. Now, I have zero knowledge, so don't judge me, guys. I don't know anything about this, but we figured since I haven't done it yet, let's do Ultraman, because we've done Sentai, Kamen Rider. There's probably more, but let me know in the comments below, guys, what you'd like to see more of the channel. But otherwise, let's open up the page to the new story of Ultraman.
Since 1966, the Ultraman franchise has captured the hearts and imaginations of fans all over the world.
Punch it right across the face!
Kaiju with a superhero premise, Ultraman solidified its reputation as a legendary franchise and an...
Now, here's the thing also, guys. I don't understand. I thought there was only one look of what Ultraman looked like. I didn't think there was, like, so many variation and versions of this. This is actually quite new to me, so... don't judge me, there's only like one variation of Ultraman I know.
Absolute trailblazer within Toku. This video is going to cover every single series within the Ultra franchise, plus all of the important movies, crossovers, and adaptations. So if you want to,
I think there was a video game too of Ultraman,
or if you want to take a
but it actually looks kind of cool.
History of the Ultraverse, this video's for you.
Sit back, enjoy, guys, have some popcorn.
This is the complete history of...
Oh, and also this is from one of the YouTubers I follow on here, Ultraman Toku, guys. Please give him a follow. I'm going to shout him out in the comments at the end. But for now, guys, you can find his link there, or I will put the link where you can find him when I tag him. But Ultraman Toku, thank you very much for this video. Wow, we're going back to the black and white era of videos. Japan.
Back in 1966, Japan was introduced to Ultra Q, a
Q,
precursor to the Ultraman franchise that was very reminiscent of the...
I'm sorry, is that a giant monster that's supposed to be a walrus? That's adorable.
Its own, but with the addition of Kaiju.
What the hell? Oh my god!
This unique show would run for 28 episodes and would feature mini kaiju that would reappear and lay the foundation for the Ultraman franchise in the future.
Run, kids, run!
And this early show featured regular people fighting against tons of kaiju.
So kaiju is like a variation of an animal that became giant and mutant, probably like. So probably before that we had Godzilla and, you know, King Kong and all that stuff. We had things like that creature, giant walruses, you know, mutant-looking hippopotamuses, polar bears, all that stuff. But I was gonna say it's a little different. Not the kids. I was gonna say a giant.
Despite
seriously.
The show being made pretty well, something was missing. A hero.
So something that was created way before back in 1966 was the build up to what Ultraman is today. So I guess those crossings kind of came together. I guess that says Ultraman. Ultraman!
After learning lessons with Ultra Q and improving on the formula, Subaraya would deliver...
I'm sorry, is that a giant Yeti? First of all, I think that's the only Ultraman I think of that I can see, but seriously. A giant Yeti.
Legendary original Ultraman series.
And he punches you right across the face.
Being an official sequel series, this show would take what worked well within Ultra Q, like the Kaiju,
Fishman.
Up the action with the addition of our hero from the Land of Light.
It's the Yeti.
This show followed the adventures of SSSP, or the Science Special Search Party, as they investigate and battle against kaiju. Shin Hayata, a member of SSSP, would transform into Ultraman and battle against these kaiju.
So Kaiju and Ultraman had a cross video production because, you know, with both variations and making a hero and all that stuff. It actually is kind of cool to see where it all began and where it started.
Hailing from the land of light, Ultraman would employ a variety of different attacks and abilities while in combat, including his iconic arm beam. This legendary series nailed the Ultra formula, and for Tsuburaya Productions, there was no looking back. Following on the heels of the original Ultraman series was Ultraman Monster Movie Feature, the first film release in the Ultra franchise. The majority of footage in this film was reused footage from the Ultraman series, albeit with various tweaks, like certain scenes being in black and white. In theaters, it was screened alongside a Toho film called King Kong Escapes.
Uh-oh. Ooh.
In 1967, Japan was treated to the exciting follow-up of Ultraman in Ultra 7. This series would follow Dan Moroboshi, who would transform into Ultra 7 and fight alongside the Ultra Garrison against various kaiju. Ultra 7's design was heavily influenced by Mayan culture and was originally intended to feature blue on his costume, but it was changed
how about that?
To prevent issues with the special effects process. This show featured capsule monsters, and the creator of Pokemon, Satoshi Tajiri, once said that Pokeballs were inspired by the capsule monsters from Ultra 7.
How about that, guys? How about the fact that Pokemon had a reference to an old history of Ultraman, Capsule Monster, Pocket Monster? Give appreciation to Pokemon nowadays, guys, except the scalpers. I love these intros. They're always different.
In 1970, Tsuburaya released Ultra Fight, a daily TV series based solely around Ultra's fighting.
Sasquatch!
Each episode of the series was only 2.5 minutes long and even featured play-by-play from Jiro Yamada, a professional sports announcer. Ultra Fight was a unique idea that proved Tsuburaya was willing to think outside of the box.
Could you imagine a sports broadcaster just doing this, guys? We see here the Ultraman running down, doing his laser beam. But meanwhile, Sasquatch Man is spraying his poison gas on the monster. Oh, he's down for the count. But wait, he's getting up again for 2.5 minutes. First of all, it should have been longer, but two, I don't know how I would feel about that. I would never want to be a broadcaster when it comes to things like that. We see here this guy is punching that guy. He's not getting up, but oh wait, he has an uppercut. Well, actually, it would be kind of fun. Don't encourage me, guys. They're always different. With music.
In 1971, Tsuburaya released the first non-Ultra superhero series in Mirror Man.
Tsuburaya first. Oh.
Though not an Ultra series, Mirror Man is worth including here because he functions as an opposite to Ultraman, being darker and more drama-focused.
Oh. Lovely.
1971's Return of Ultraman marked the 4th series in the Ultra franchise, and it would combine the worlds of Ultra Q, Ultraman, and Ultra 7 into a single connected universe.
Punches right across the face.
Our main protagonist in the series was a race car driver and a member of MATS, or the Monster Attack Team. Hideki would transform into...
So I'm guessing the concept of most of these Ultramans is there's a group of people who hunt down these monsters. One of them, though, can turn to Ultraman and basically beat them to oblivion.
And Jack, also known as New Ultraman.
New Ultraman? Lasers! What the heck is that?
Return of Ultraman would serve as the 5-year anniversary of the franchise, while also further defining the Ultraman formula even more going forward.
So the concept is group of people hunting monsters. One that could become Ultraman and fight the living monster to death.
Ultraman would continue in 1972 with Ultraman Ace.
I like these variation outfits.
The shared Ultra universe by heavily featuring all of the previous Ultras up to this point.
Oh, fusion, ha! As it punched you across the face again.
Seiji and Yuko utilize Ultra Rings to transform into Ace as they battle Kaiju with TAC or the Terrible Monster Attacking Crew.
So this one is that it takes 2 people to create a giant Ultraman. That's kind of interesting. Laser hand. Oh god, that's actually quite exciting.
Ace would continue with the trend of high-quality Ultraman seasons, and the franchise showed no signs of slowing down.
Blue light.
In 1973, Tsuburaya debuted a new series with an Ultra that would become legendary, Ultraman Taro.
Taro.
Taro follows the adventures of Kotaro Higashi, a man who nearly dies in a plane crash before being rescued by the Ultra Brothers. As a member of ZATS, or Zariba of All Territory, Kotaro would transform into Ultraman Taro. Taro would fight alongside the previous Ultras to form the 6 Ultra Brothers, and would go on to become one of the most famous and recognizable Ultras of all time. Within the Ultra universe, Taro's name means someone courageous who loves justice, as given to him by the father
Batman.
of Ultra. And the signature horns on his head are a feature that he inherited from father as well. Ultraman Taro was a landmark series within the Ultra franchise, and although Taro's story would be retconned in certain ways later on, this show became an essential watch for fans over time. Tsuburaya also released a show in 1973 that wasn't technically an Ultra series, but was a relatively popular spin-off series meant to celebrate the 10th anniversary of Tsuburaya Productions. This show was called Jumborg Ace.
A plane becomes Ultraman.
Jumborg Ace was a fun Tsuburaya side project that fans enjoyed, despite not being an official Ultra series.
Okay, is this a thing nowadays that when they showed it back in the day, the fact that Ultraman could come right to your screen and punch you across the face like that? Because that day we should just wear 3D glasses.
Premiering in 1974 was Taro's exciting follow-up in Ultraman Leo. This series continued the tradition of high-quality storytelling and cinematography that the Ultraman franchise was becoming known for. Jin Otori is the human form of Ultraman Leo, who comes to Earth from the Leo constellation, Nebula L77. This show features Ultra 7,
this is so out of this world.
Dan Moroboshi, to be more accurate, fighting alongside Gin with the group MAC, or the Monster Attack Crew.
Same thing, my concept.
Leo helping when Ultra 7 becomes critically injured, and this first act would ground Leo firmly within the Ultraverse. Leo was another well-made season, and it had become clear by now that Tsuburaya had perfected their formula.
What the heck is that? Ultraman, Ultraman.
In Thailand in 1974 was
Thailand
versus the Monster Army, before it would be released in Japan in 1979.
Interesting. Is that a Catman?
This film united the 6 Ultra Brothers into an exciting and suspenseful film where the sun is moving towards the Earth while chaos ensues. This project kept fans satisfied while the Ultra franchise was on a short hiatus from television.
Because they probably couldn't come up with an idea back then. Oh, this is kind of cool. It's like G.I. Joe kind of look in Transformer.
1979 was a unique animated project called The Ultraman, the very first animated Ultra project. This show was produced by Tsuburaya and animated by Nippon Sunrise. Nippon Sunrise actually animated another well-known anime show at the same time, Mobile Suit Gundam, and they would eventually be renamed to Bandai Namco Filmworks.
I never got into Mobile Suit Gundam. I know a lot about what Gundam is. I've seen people build Gundam stuff, and it's actually quite amazing, and I would have zero patience and zero effort to build it, but The fact of the matter is, guys, that Mobile Suit Gundam is actually kind of cool. Never got into it, though. Probably it's also expensive. As he comes right through your screen.
Our main protagonist in the Ultraman is Choichiro Hikari, a member of SDS, or the Science Defense Squad. He bonds to a new Ultra named Ultraman Jonius, who originates from planet U-40. The Ultraman ran for 50 episodes, and it gave fans an entirely new perspective on the Ultraverse.
Can't go wrong.
In 1980, Ultraman would return to live action with Ultraman 80 and continue the story from where it left off after Ultraman Leo. This show was consistent with the Ultraman feel, but 80 would develop a vibe and a style all its own that would make it unique among other projects.
80.
Taking place 5 years after Ultraman Leo, 80 would focus on a school teacher named Takeshi Yamato, who becomes a member of UGM, or Utility Government Members, to battle the kaiju threat. Takeshi is the human form of Ultraman 80, an Ultra from the Land of Light.
There's a female version? Ultra Woman.
Ultraman 80 would also be notable for featuring Yulian, a female Ultra who is a princess from the Land of Light. And this series did an excellent job at honoring the franchise.
I like what I see.
A lot of creative and unique elements to the audience.
Round and round. So I like the concept that each Ultraman that they do, they take a little bit from the previous one, but make it kind of like their own style, which is actually pretty well. Sophie.
1984 brought the one-off special Ultraman Zoffy, Ultra Warriors vs. the Giant Monster Army. After making small cameo appearances in the Ultraverse, Ultraman Zoffy would be featured as the lead hero in this special.
Okay.
Featuring all of the previous Ultras, as well as a ton of kaiju, this special was a celebration of Ultraman at a time when the official series was on another hiatus.
So it's more of like a tribute show. See, I knew there was a video game of this. Well, this is back with the Nintendo here, or Atari almost.
Also released in 1984 was an Ultraman game for the MSX home computer, the very first Ultraman video
or
game.
Not MSX? I never heard of that. See, I don't think we never grew up with things like Commodore and all that stuff in my time. Like, I think back when I was born, we had computer, we had Windows. And I think I was way early for this stuff, but I don't remember much about the computer consoles growing up. Which I think explains why I'm still not a PC gamer. Eventually I would like to do a lot of PC work, but I don't have the money for it. Plus, I have to eventually make time for it.
Following the events of the original...
Oh, by the way, guys, please subscribe to the Finn Gaming channel. I'll put the link, my other side, put the link up somewhere. But guys, please give this an opportunity to check out the other channel. If you want to see more weird content that I do that's not reaction-wise, but it's more gaming-wise.
This game let fans play as Ultraman and battle against kaiju. The game was pretty basic, but it captured the tone and feel of Ultraman perfectly. Or at least in the best way that a game from 1984 could.
That is very true.
The Ultra series would spin off into a kids anime with 1984.
What the hell?
This sub-series was focused on a young audience and would result in several different films and series.
Ew. No offense. Ew. Now to get that out of my head, the adventure begins.
In 1987, Tsuburaya teamed up with Hanna-Barbera Productions to make an animated Ultraman series for both Japan and USA. This was Ultraman: The Adventure Begins. With a decidedly different look and tone from previous Ultraman projects, this animated film would utilize a similar style to G.I. Joe or Transformers.
I called it! Also has like Voltron to it too, like a Voltron vibe.
the Adventure Begins was intended to be a pilot episode of a TV series, but these plans were scrapped and it was turned into a movie instead. This project offered fans a new flavor of Ultraman in much the same way that
a new flavor
had done before.
They call it. So I like the fact that it also kind of balances out between doing the animated and you know, real life action, which is actually kind of cool to see them actually balancing out all together towards the universe.
Subaraya formed a partnership with the South Australian Film Corporation to co-produce a new Ultraman series called Ultraman Toward the Future.
How about that?
The adventures of Jack Shindo, a member of UMA, or the Universal Multi-Purpose Agency, who bonds with Ultraman Great.
Great.
Ultraman Towards the Future would initially only release on home video and Laserdisc within Japan in 1990, before being televised in Japan during 1991, and later released in the USA in 1992. Despite
sweet.
Saburaya's partnership with the Australian Film Corporation, this show did not initially air in Australia. At only 13 episodes, this series was quite a bit shorter than what Japanese fans were used to, but its success would lead to the possibility of similar projects in the future.
Which is kind of cool. Kamen Rider and Ultraman combined as one.
In 1993, Toku fans would be treated to a groundbreaking and exciting crossover with Ultraman vs. Kamen Rider. This project was a small, self-contained story delivering everything that fans
Rider
could
kick
want from these heroes, including an action-packed story and tons of fan service.
Really?
Seeing Ultraman fight alongside Kamen Rider marked a milestone within Toku and gave fans a chance to see their favorite heroes in a cool new way.
Which is cool.
In 1993, Subaraya produced a unique Toku.
Ooh, I like this version.
Hyper Agent. Though not technically an Ultra project, this series was extremely influential to future series, as Subaraya would adopt a new kind of video technology for animating special effects. This project became very popular over the years and is definitely worth mentioning here.
That's very true. Wait, we saw this before, didn't we?
In 1994, Subaraya would create a direct-to-video series called Heisei Ultra 7, a sequel series to 1967's Ultra 7 that would diverge from the established story and exist within its own alternate timeline.
Oh, okay, cool.
Heisei Ultra 7 was originally conceptualized as a pair of two TV specials with a focus on teaching viewers about environmental causes. Several years later, the series would continue as a way to celebrate Ultra 7's 30th anniversary. More entries were added later to wrap up the story and give the series a proper ending. Due to Ultra 7's popularity within Toku, a continuation of his story within the Heisei era was a treat for fans. Rounding out 1994 was an American adaptation of Gridman called Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad.
That is a servo program.
I never heard of this, to be honest. This is something new to me. I was gonna say I grew up with things like this, but
Ooh, cool battle armor.
This series was co-produced by Subaraya, Deke, and Ultracom. It was distributed by All American Television, which is now Fremantle Media. Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad wasn't as popular as the Saban shows in America, but this show introduced a lot of Western fans to Gridman and the Ultraverse by extension.
interesting, but I never heard of it, to be honest. It's kind of weird.
1995 brought fans in Japan a series called Ultraman Powered, also known as Ultraman the Ultimate Hero within the West. This show is a co-production between Subaraya and a company called Major Havoc Entertainment, later known as Steppin' Stone Entertainment. This was only the second live-action Ultraman series produced outside of Japan.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Running for 13 episodes, this series would take cues from the previously released Ultraman Towards the Future, but would surprisingly never air in the United States.
That makes a lot of sense, I guess.
In 1996, after a 15-year hiatus, a new Ultraman project would
Ultraman
debut
Blue
on Japanese television, Ultraman Tiga, marking a fresh and exciting new chapter in the legacy of Ultraman. With an updated look and a new take on the Ultraman formula, Tiga was out to revitalize the franchise in ways never seen
He is
before.
baffled.
This show was set in a different universe than the previous Ultra series, offering the writers limitless possibilities for crafting the stories that they wanted to tell. Set in the near future, the story of Tiga focuses on Daigo Madoka, a kind-hearted and heroic TPC officer who later joins GUTS, or the Global Unlimited Task Squad. Daigo's courage,
My theory is
along with
true.
the genes of an ancient civilization, allows him to transform into Tiga. Tiga was the first Ultra with multiple combat modes, and this show has remained one of the most popular entries in the series since its debut, resulting in many films and crossovers, plus a full-on reboot years later.
Okay. Here comes Ultraman punching in the face.
Also released in 1996 was a film serving as a parody of the Ultraman franchise with Ultraman Zearth.
Ugh.
Bright, Ultraman Zearth was extremely strong and very skilled in combat, but he would be heavily affected by anxiety.
Welcome to my life.
Ultraman Zearth's name originates from the word zenith, which means pinnacle or peak. He's also a germaphobe who's obsessed with cleanliness. Zearth would also get a sequel film called Ultraman Zearth 2, Superman Big Battle, Light and Shadow. In 1997, Subaraya released Ultraman Dyna, taking place 7 years after the events of Tiga, where a new team called Super Guts would battle against an alien race called Spheres. Our main protagonist in the series is Shin Asuka, a member of Super Guts and human counterpart to Ultraman Dyna. This series worked to continue the story that Tiga had started, and Dyna would deliver a plot rich with heart and emotion.
So it kind of took the variation of Tiga to their own form.
1998's Ultraman Gaia took the franchise in another new direction, as this series would move to a different universe from the ones established in the Showa era series, or the one found in Tiga and Dyna.
僕が今はウルトラマンなんだ。
This series is also unique because there are two Ultras with conflicting viewpoints named Ultraman Gaia and Ultraman Agul, and their power is bestowed upon them by the will of the planet itself.
I thought that was
In
Pepsi
this
Man.
series, Gamu Takayama and Hiroya Fujimiya henshin into Gaia and Agul respectively, and our defense team for this series is named GUARD, or the Geocentric Universal Alliance Against the Radical Destruction.
Jesus.
The series also featured Takashi Ukaji as Sechiro Tsutsumi, better known to fans of Kamen Rider Oz as Kogami-san. Ultraman
Oh,
Gaia
interesting.
continued the recent trend of innovation and risk-taking by the Subaraya production team, and Ultraman was heading into the 2000s with tons of momentum. In 1999, during the broadcast of Ultraman Tiga reruns, a new hero would be revealed with Ultraman Nice.
A kid?
These short 1-minute TV spots were basically ads for Bandai toys that showcased Ultraman Nice and other characters with unique stories.
What the heck is that?
Ultraman Nice has a transformation limit of only 1 minute, and he is considered a parody Ultra, leading to him being frequently paired beside Ultraman Zearth.
Okay.
Originally conceptualized as a traditional Ultraman TV series, 2000's Ultraman Naos would instead be repackaged into a direct-to-video miniseries. Set in a self-contained timeline, this show follows the story of Genki Kagura, a member of Hearts, or the high-tech Earth Alert and Rescue Team, who henshins into Ultraman Nails.
I have to admit, these names of these groups are so amazing. But there's also a mouthful.
Ultraman Nails exists in a parallel universe to the Ultra Brothers universe, and although this project didn't receive a full series, it was still a memorable chapter in Ultraman's history. 2001 brought fans another main entry into the Ultraman franchise with Ultraman Cosmos, a series meant to celebrate Ultraman's 35th anniversary.
That's kind of cool.
Cosmos was a more empathetic Ultra than most, and he rocked a unique blue color scheme, making him very different from other Ultras at the time. This series follows the story of Musashi Haruno, the human host of Ultraman Cosmos, as well as a group called EYES, or the Elite Young Expert Squad.
I feel like there's always something to it. I'm waiting for them. I feel like you can make like different variation group names just by taking any word. Like the group called Nose, also as in no obscured shit excavation. Why did I think of that? I don't know. But still, it amazes me that these groups are just, it's like one word and then it's like 500 other different words to it. But good lord.
For a massive 65 episodes, making it the longest running series in the entire franchise.
How about that? Oh.
In 2004, Tsuburaya looked to reinvent Ultraman for an older audience, and the first step
Ooh.
was titled Ultraman the Next.
I like that outfit. That was kind of cool. Does it embark violence?
This project focuses on a fighter pilot named Sunichi Maki, who becomes Ultraman, this time with a way more aggressive and complex aesthetic. Ultraman the Next took the
complex indeed
formula and repackaged it in a cool and creative way.
I can imagine.
2004 also brought fans Ultraman Nexus. This show would also be made for an older audience, marking a new direction for Ultraman on television.
Still with the same old concepts.
This series abandoned the long-established Monster of the Week formula in favor of longer developing stories that would appeal more to the show's target audience. Tsuburaya originally meant for the series to air in primetime, but they had to settle for a Saturday morning slot, reducing how many people could even watch.
I like to debate about that. I feel like the Saturday morning slot's always, depending on what time you actually get it, people are still watching, especially kids.
The change in the show's format and a less than ideal time slot, Nexus would fail to reach Tsuburaya.
Ooh, hello.
And only received
She was kind of cute.
Episodes.
Alright, we're going back to the old ages again. Dark fantasy. The black and white era of Ultraman. The beginning where it all began.
Also releasing in 2004 was Ultra Q Dark Fantasy, a project made to celebrate the original Ultra series from the 1960s.
Interesting. Ooh! What the heck is that? Is that a hedgehog? Is that the Sonic Reject?
But it took place in an alternate timeline, and it wasn't actually a sequel.
Thank God.
In 2005, Ultraman would return to the classic Monster of the Week format with Ultraman Max.
I like this outfit, though.
Our main protagonist for the series is Kaito Toma, a recent recruit of the Team Dash, or Defense Action Squad Heroes. Due to a childhood tragedy, Kaito has a strong sense of duty and justice, and these qualities made him the perfect choice to be an Ultra host as he transformed into Ultraman Max.
Fair point.
This series was a welcome return to the classic Ultra format, and fans received it well.
I'm not surprised.
Celebrating the 40th anniversary of the franchise, 2006's Ultraman Mebius was a huge and historically significant season, resulting in the show moving to a new Saturday evening time slot. As an anniversary season, this series frequently referenced previous characters and events from Ultraman's history. This show follows Ultraman Mebius as he tries to live up to the Ultraman legacy. Mebius tried and failed to save a man, but used his likeness when creating a human form named Mirai Hibino. As a member of Guys, or Guards for Utility situation, he would join the battle against Kaiju. Ultraman Mebius told a timeless story that honored the franchise's legacy while being unique and modern at the same time.
Ultra 7X.
2007's Ultra 7X was a darker and more...
Jesus.
oriented continuation of 1967's Ultra 7.
See, exactly how my process goes with Japanese. They always get the good-looking person the best-looking outfit. I swear to God.
Jin, an amnesiac who transforms into Ultra 7X, as well as an investigation team named Deus. This series was quite different from the original, despite the similar name.
How?
Ultra 7X was a dark and mature reimagining of the 1967 classic.
Okay. Nice little touch-up, to say the least.
2007 also saw the release of a new spin-off series set in the Ultraverse titled Ultra Galaxy Mega Monster Battle. This project would focus more on the kaiju of the universe, as well as follow the adventures of a man named Ray. Originally airing as part of a pay-per-view service, Ultra Galaxy Mega Monster Battle carved a unique place for itself within the larger Ultraman universe.
Did it have a sports broadcaster too?
Its own successful franchise going forward. 2008 was a huge year for Ultraman with the release of a film called Superior Ultraman 8 Brothers. This movie joins the Showa-era Ultras with the Heisei-era Ultras in a team-up for the ages.
So, like another collab kind of run with Ultraman.
Superior Ultraman 8 Brothers delivered with big action and loads of fan service. This was a movie that fans both young and old could enjoy.
That's understandable. I like that. Oh. Ooh, I like this. Is this an Ultraman? Ooh.
2009's Mega Monster Battle, Ultra Galaxy, would prove to be one of the most significant projects in the history of the franchise, as two characters would be introduced who would become iconic within Tokyo: Ultraman Belial and Ultraman Zero. This project was a continuation of a direct-to-video special called Ultraman Mebius Side Story Ghost Reverse, and this project would usher in an exciting new era for Ultraman.
I think we encountered something with this in the video that I did previously.
Serving as Ultraman's 45th anniversary celebration was Ultraman Zero: The Revenge of Belial. This film continued the story of Belial and Zero, and even added a cool look for Belial with Galactic Emperor Kaiser Belial. Zero wouldn't be left out though, and would gain access to his ultimate form called Ultimate Zero.
So the Death of Hell has to fight the Ultramans.
As a sequel film, this project delivered what fans were looking for in an Ultraman movie.
Action?
Super Riot released a new film in 2012 called Ultraman Saga.
Ooh.
This was another 45th anniversary project, focused on a clash involving many popular Ultras in a fight against Hyper Zeton. This film was set 15 years after the events of Ultraman Dyna and featured returning cast members from the series. This film also introduced Ultraman Saga himself, considered a super Ultraman.
Oh, that's kind of cool looking.
Of Ultraman Dyna, Cosmos, and Zero.
Zero. Ultraman God, basically.
At this point in time, the Ultraman franchise was experiencing a golden age in terms of high-quality films that Tsuburaya was delivering consistently.
Well, with the embark of technology, I would imagine him doing that push.
Tsuburaya also released a miniseries in 2012 called Ultra Zero Fight, starring Ultraman Zero. After Zero's rise in popularity, it was only natural to feature him in even more projects going forward, and a continuation of the Ultra Fight series was a natural fit.
Well, if you have something that worked, you gotta keep going with it.
Ultraman Zero had become a worldwide icon, but it was unclear if Tsuburaya could keep that momentum that they built.
Well...
In 2013, the world would be introduced to Ultraman Ginga, a slick and futuristic-looking Ultra in a series that celebrated the 50th anniversary of Tsuburaya Productions. This series follows the adventures of Hikaru Raido, a member of UPG or the Ultra Party Guardians. Hikaru is a fearless and energetic 17-year-old ready to take on any challenge as Ultraman Ginga.
More female Ultra Womans. I'm down for it. We don't genderize Ultraman now here.
Ginga was a successful series that would affect...
I'm sorry. I had to take that perspective. I'm asking myself, what the hell did I just watch? So, the woman transformed not to an Ultra Woman, but to that. God damn it.
Ginga was a successful series that would affect the future of the franchise in a huge way, and was also the start of Ultraman's new generation era.
Sometimes good to go back to the past.
In 2013, Ultra Q got what was marketed as a sequel season in Neo Ultra Q. Neo Ultra Q kept the same style and tone of the original, but added slightly more comedy. This allowed a wider age range to enjoy the series. Neo Ultra Q kept the spirit of Ultra Q alive.
Okay.
Ultraman Ginga would get a sequel series in 2014 with Ultraman Ginga S.
See what I mean? Good looking people, best.
The story of Ultraman Ginga with many of the same characters, but fans would also be introduced to a prince named Sho who transforms into a new Ultra named Ultraman Victory.
Oh, I like that. Victory looks kind of dope looking.
Ultraman Ginga S followed up on the success of its predecessor and gave fans an explosive chapter of the Ultraman saga.
And confusion?
In 2015, Tsuburaya released Ultraman X. This show follows Daichi Ozora, human host of Ultraman X and member of Zio, or Xeno Invasion Outcutters. This show would explore deeper themes like existence and consciousness. After all this time, the Ultraman franchise still had a few tricks up its sleeve.
If something works, you keep
X
using it.
continued the legacy of Ultraman in a way that was refreshingly deep and well written.
Which is?
Was the year of Ultraman Orb, a series made to commemorate the Ultra franchise's 50th anniversary. This show focuses on Guy Kurene, the human form of Ultraman Orb, as he takes on Jugless Juggler. This season also featured a team of 3 independent investigators called SSP, or the Something Search Party.
The Something Search Party? That's awesome!
As a 50th
Ooh,
anniversary
that was
project,
cool.
did a great job of carrying forward the legacy of Ultraman.
I agree.
In 2017, the Ultraman franchise returned with a new series called Ultraman Geed, or Ultraman Jido, with the series' namesake being the created son of Ultraman Belial. Riku Asakura is the human form of Ultraman Jido, who despite being the son
that's
of Belial,
cool.
was raised as a regular human, and he has a kind and noble personality.
Aw.
Riku is also a huge fan of
Respect.
a Toku character named Dawn Shine. Riku has a unique transformation sequence where he would combine the powers of multiple Ultras. This resulted in one of the most famous transformation sequences in all of Ultraman. This show also featured the AIB, or the Alien Investigation Bureau, as well as a master sword fighter named Raya, and a man named Leito Igaguri who transforms into Ultraman Zero. Ultraman Jido combined elements from previous Ultraman seasons into something unique and memorable.
That's interesting. What the hell is that?
2018 brought an anime remake of Gridman with SSSS Gridman, a series co-produced by Super.
How many S's can you fit into that sentence? It's kind of cool.
Only 12 episodes, this was a short-lived project, but one that was welcomed by fans of Gridman.
Makes sense.
2018 brought fans one of the most unique seasons in the history of the franchise. This series was known as Ultraman Ryub in Japanese, but in English was branded as Ultraman RB. This show follows the adventures of the Minato siblings. Katsumi transforms into Ultraman Raso, and Isami transforms into Ultraman Blue, and they are accompanied by their sister Asahi. This show also has a strong supporting cast, including Ushio Minato, the father of the Minato siblings.
You know what it reminds me of? I know it looks like they kind of had like a little bit of a like quarrel and arguing. Kind of like the Halo thing that you see on TV, red versus blue. Kind of like that concept.
Ultraman Ryub was a unique season themed around family that was action-packed and full of heart.
And comedy?
In 2019, Tsuburaya released Ultraman Ryub the Movie, a film sequel to the series serving as a finale to the Minato sibling story. This film is most notable for being the debut of Ultra Woman Grigio.
Aww.
This movie capped off Ultraman Ryub's story in a cool and unexpected way.
In a very interesting way. Tiga
2019 brought fans the first Ultra series of the Reiwa era with Ultraman Taiga. This
Taiga.
series, of course, focused on Taiga, the son of Taro, who is a member of the Tri-Squad along with Ultraman Titus and Ultraman Fuma. The three Ultras share a human host named Hiroyuki Kudo, a member of Aegis, or the Enterprise of Guard and Investigation Services. It was a
Superhero
big
entrance.
Japan, and the Ultraman series rose to the occasion with Ultraman Taiga.
Taiga.
2019 also marked the launch of Ultra Galaxy Fight, a miniseries that was distributed online. With short 5-minute episodes, this series was a callback to the original Ultra Fight miniseries, and it proved successful with fans, resulting in the series receiving 2 sequel seasons.
Okay. Ooh. Oh, it's anime.
Also in 2019, Tsuburaya entered into a joint production with Netflix and Production IG to create an Ultraman anime series.
What?
The series was aimed at an older audience and featured visually dynamic animation that proved to be successful, as this series would go on to get 2 more seasons.
Is it available still? Hold on a sec. Time out. Let's see if this... I just dropped something for 1. And 2, I need to see if this thing is still available. Oh, it's still on! Awesome! Ultraman Rising is available on Netflix. Alright. Something for me to watch. I was going to say, for the first time in my life, I am happy.
This show is Netflix Japan's most watched anime of the year in 2019, and due to the wide
that's cool.
install base of Netflix, it introduced many new fans to the Ultra franchise. Ultraman continued its success in 2020 with Ultraman Z. This show was aired on TV and the official Subaraya YouTube channel. This show eventually would even get an English dub. Ultraman Z was mentored by one of the most popular Ultras of all time, Ultraman Zero. Z's human host is Haruki Natsukawa, a member of Storage, or Special Tactical Operations, Regimental Airborne and Ground Equipment. Ultraman Z was an enjoyable entry to the franchise, and the Reiwa era was starting to be a great time to be an Ultraman fan.
I can imagine.
Subaraya released a miniseries in 2021 called Sevenger Fight, with each episode taking place between
What the
episodes
hell
of
is that thing?
This project was another callback to Ultra Fight that gave fans a bit more context to Ultraman Z, while still delivering the entertaining fights that fans expected.
Interesting.
2021 brought us Ultraman Trigger, New Generation Tiga. Serving as a reboot of Tiga, this show featured a lot of the same themes and elements, as well as similar characters.
Ooh, I like them. These are kind of cool looking
Remake
characters.
or reimagining. This show celebrated the 25th anniversary of Tiga while updating elements to fit more with the current day. These included slight variations in names like Trigger instead of Tiga. In this series, we follow the adventures of Kingo Manaka, a plant-loving botanist who joins a team called Guts Select. This squad is loaded with charismatic and memorable characters that would contribute to the show's overall quality in a huge way.
Little Trigger.
Kingo is actually Trigger himself because before the events of the show, he condensed his light and became a child. The story was deep and interesting and involved two of the coolest Ultras in the franchise with Carmira and Dark Trigger.
It has that Kamen Rider look to the outfits,
Ultraman
which I do
Trigger
like.
celebrated Tiga while also retaining a modern and cutting-edge feel to the show. In 2022, Subaraya would co-produce a film with Toho and Kara Inc. This project was called Shin Ultraman, a reimagining of the original series.
What the hell was that? That was quite most the comical, funniest move attack
This
ever.
project would commemorate the 55-year anniversary of the Ultra franchise and would also join the Shin Japan Heroes universe alongside Shin Godzilla and Shin Kamen Rider. 2022's Ultraman series was Ultraman Decker, a direct sequel to Trigger that was also the fourth series in the Reiwa era and also a 25th anniversary celebration of Ultraman Dyna.
Damn, 25th anniversary. I was gonna say, they gotten that far.
Although this show is a sequel to Trigger, it actually takes place quite a few years later with a different protagonist named Kanata Asumi. After entities called the Spheres attack Earth, Kanata joins Guts Select, and the groups return to the series.
Very well.
Ultraman Decker was another excellent reimagining of a prior series, and also an exciting series in its own right.
He seems too excited.
2023 was the year of Ultraman Blazar, marking
Blazar.
the 60th anniversary of Subaraya Productions. Ginto Hiruma is the leader of the Scarred, Special Kaiju Reaction Detachment, who becomes Blazar. Featuring a blue crystallized scar on his face, Blazar was one of the most unique-looking Ultras of all time. Blazar was
Sounds like an
an
airplane.
exciting season that really leaned into the sci-fi aspects of Ultraman in a way that we hadn't seen in years.
Like a sword?
Ta-da! Ultraman, the ultimate babysitter.
2024 brought another Ultraman project on Netflix, this time an animated movie called Ultraman Rising, focusing on a baseball player named Ken Sato who transforms into Ultraman and cares for a baby Gigantron. Due to circumstances in Ken's life, he has to overcome his own demons and become a hero.
Ken, she thinks you are her mother.
Oh, okay, that's kind of weird. So I looked at the wrong one. It said Ultraman Rising. God damn it, that means the other Ultraman's probably not in there anymore. Son of a bitch.
Ultraman Rising was Tsuburaya and Netflix's attempt to create an animated Ultraman film for the whole family, and fans received this project well, opening the door for similar projects in the future.
I can imagine.
The Ultraman franchise continued in 2024 with Ultraman Arc. Ultraman Arc follows Yuma Hise, an investigator of a group called SKIP, or Scientific Kaiju Investigation and Prevention Center. Using the Arc Ariser, Yuma transforms into Arc.
And the outfits just get better and
Arc
better.
looks like a very early Ultra, but form changing results in him looking insanely futuristic and unique. It's a nice contrast. Ultraman Arc has continued the incredible legacy of Ultraman while adding its own unique elements to the formula at the same time.
Which is also kind of cool.
For 50 years, the Ultraman franchise has been at the forefront of Toku, and the Ultras themselves have become some of the most recognizable and iconic
no.
in the world. With a unique blend of Toku tropes like Henshin heroes and kaiju, Tsuburaya created a formula all their own. Ultraman's specific brand of fiction has become known worldwide, with passionate fans all across the globe. 2025's Ultra series will be called Ultraman Omega, and Ultraman continues to deliver high-quality shows and films with no signs of slowing down. But hey, that's just what I think. Let me know what you think in the comments, and continue the conversation within the Shogunate, the official Acrimony Discord server. A place to hang out with other Toku fans and discuss Ultraman, Kamen Rider, and Super Sentai to your heart's content. Links in the description. I'll see you there. And if you enjoyed
I'm gonna have to check that out. I was gonna say, that sounds kind of cool.
this video, it would mean a ton to me if you would smack the out of that like button. But that's all I got. I'll catch you guys later.
Done. I think the concept of how Ultraman has, like, in the world when you have Ultraman, Kamen Rider, Super Sentai, they keep growing and growing and taking the same variation of the previous stuff to what we get to today. It's like you kind of have to use what they had back in the day and invigorate it into something that's more enjoyable to the now. And I think that's what's kind of cool about Ultraman. Now, I know there's a lot of other American kind of video games, comics, crossovers. There was like another Ultraman on TV. I don't think it really lasted long. It's like Big Bad Billboards and VR Troopers, but it was enjoyable. So thank you very much, guys, for watching. If you have other stuff you want me to comment below and react to, guys, let me know your suggestions. Hit the like, subscribe. If you enjoyed it, guys, please go to Finn Gaming and I will see more of my weird content. But guys, thank you for watching. This is Michael, signing out.